Do you want to know how to add more money to your bank account? Then watch this video, because in this video I'm going to be sharing with you 5 ways that you can make more money. And if you're not already a subscriber, then make sure you subscribe to the channel below and hit the notification bell so you don't miss any new videos. Tip number 1, and I'm probably starting with the biggest one of all. Why not? Why not? And that is property. Now, as you may know or may not know, if you watch my videos, if you've been a subscriber for a while, you know that I own property. I had 8 houses. I have sold 2. I now have 6. But property is a wonderful way of generating revenue. Now, I know it's not an easy way to start making money, especially now with everything that's going on. It's a lot more difficult to get on the housing ladder than it was when I started about 10 to 15 years ago. But I'm a great believer in there is always an opportunity out there. I know some people say, oh no, it's not the right time, and you know, it's too late and they've missed the boat. But in all honesty, I'm a great believer in there are opportunities, there are bargains, there are properties with your name on it out there in whatever part of the world you live in. There is something out there that you can buy right now in this present climate and be able to generate an income. You just have to be creative with the way that you do things, especially at the moment where in the UK it's a lot harder to get the mortgages. You have to put down a bigger deposit. There are lots of hoops and hurdles that you need to, you know, go through, and lots of challenges, but people are doing it. You know, so it's just a case of finding a way that works for you, you know, finding the right scheme, the right mortgage company, the right way for you that will work. I know I'm starting off with the biggest one. It's probably the hardest one to get going, but I am a firm believer in the fact that, you know, bricks and mortar to me is the best place to put your money. It's the best income generator. It does come with challenges. I have had nightmare tenants and tenants from hell. I'm not gonna lie, I have had 1 or 2 awful tenants, but if you know how to cover yourself, cover your back, you know, any issues that you have with tenants, you can get them out fairly quickly. You know, if you know what you're doing and you're connected to the right people, you know the system, then you can get people out fairly quickly now. So I know it's a big one, but just think about it. Even if it's not something that you can do today, just think about it for the future, for long term, because again, I'm a great believer in property. It may go down, but it always comes back up at some point. Always. It's not a short-term game, it's a long-term game. If you're going to invest for the long term. Don't expect to, you know, be able to necessarily flip it, make money straight away. You can do that. There are ways of doing that, and there are deals out there that do work for that. But in all honesty, I think in this current climate, especially if you can find something that's a bargain, and by bargain, I would generally say if you can get something that's 20% under market value, then you've done brilliantly well there. But just look for the deals, look for the opportunities, because they are out there. No matter what your financial situation is, you can do it, and the deals are out there. So that's my tip number 1, a very big one to start with, I know, is just look at the property market. Even if you don't do it right now, just get clued up on it, because when that opportunity comes, you want to be able to jump on it. Tip number 2, sell stuff. We've all got stuff in the closet, in the cupboards, in the garage, somewhere. We all have stuff that we don't use, that's just sitting there collecting dust, doing nothing for us. We kind of like maybe lost our passion for it, and you know what, why not sell it on? You know, bless somebody else with it. I am a great fan of using like eBay or Depop, or if you've got designer goods, Vestiaire is great. There's quite a few platforms out there that you can use. Gumtree, you know, there's loads of platforms out there that you can use to sell your items on. For instance, I had a Chloe coat that I had bought at a bargain price anyway in the sale at Harvey Nichols. The coat retails normally for £1,000. I ended up buying it at Harvey Nichols for 350, ended up selling it for 600. So it was a win-win for everybody. The lady that bought it got it cheaper, I made a bit of money, you know, kind of like a no-brainer really. So yeah, so, you know, it doesn't have to be anything designer. People will buy anything and everything. It doesn't matter what it is. There is probably someone out there looking for that thing right now. So if you've got anything that you haven't used for a while, it's just sitting there collecting dust, I would encourage you to just pass it on, bless somebody else with it, and sell it and get rid of it. Because if you haven't used something for a year or at least 2 years, it's unlikely that you're ever really going to use it, you know. So that would be my tip number 2, is to sell items you no longer use. Okay, tip number 3, create an information product. So we all know something. We all have a gift and a skill and have knowledge based around a certain area. And so I would encourage you to package that knowledge into some kind of program or course or ebook or video series, whatever it is that you want to do, whatever feels comfortable to you, but package that information and sell it, because there are people around the world that need that information that you have. Again, you may think it's trivial, nobody wants to know, or people already know, it's all common sense, but you'll be surprised, you know. I know Brendan Burchard always says common sense isn't always common practice. And so what comes easy to you and to me doesn't necessarily come easy to somebody else. So I would encourage you to take that gift that you have and package it in a way that helps somebody. And you can price it at anything you want to, you know. So if it's an ebook, it could be, you know, £9 or £4 or £50, you know, completely up to you. People will pay what they think it's worth. And so I would recommend that you really sit down and think about, what is it that you know? What is it that you're good at? What could you create based around that? It could be like a video series, like a 4 or 5 part video series that you just package up. You film the videos, package it up, sell it for, I don't know, £25, £50, £100, £500, whatever you want to sell it for, whatever you want to charge for it. But I think you might surprise yourself when you do it, that it is very useful to people. The information that you have inside that you think maybe is irrelevant really isn't. So that would be my tip number 3, is to think about what it is that you know that somebody else may want to know, package that up in a product and sell it. Tip number 4, and this is a bit similar to the last one, but this is more about selling your expertise. So for instance, let's say, I don't know if you've heard of platforms like Fiverr, where if you're an expert in something, you can actually sell your expertise and your skills. So let's say you're a graphic designer, you know, you can promote yourself on there and sell that expertise to people. Or if you're a expert in marketing, or you're an expert in you know, we just talked about creating information products, so you know how to do the whole website and design and SEO and all that good stuff. So you could go onto these platforms, you could register yourself, you could promote your service and sell that. And again, you might be pleasantly surprised at the amount of people around the world that are looking for that skill. You know, they need somebody to help them with their website. They need someone to help with the SEO. They need somebody to help them with building a following on TikTok, for instance, you know. So I would recommend, again, think about what it is that you're good at. And as I previously said, you can package it as a product and sell it yourself, or you can go onto these platforms where people are searching for help from people, and you can promote yourself and sell your service that way. So that's my tip number 4, is to, you know, take a look at these kind of platforms like Fiverr, have a look at where you could slot into that and help people and get yourself onto these platforms. And then the final tip, tip number 5, is stocks and shares. Now this is an interesting one, because this is one that I am kind of considering doing myself. I've never really been somebody that's delved into the whole stocks and shares thing. I've always loved property more than I have stocks and shares. But I saw an opportunity come up recently where a company, very, very big company, was struggling. Their shares had gone down. They were pretty dire. Everybody's saying that it's the end of them. That's it. They're going to disappear. And in my head, I just thought, oh, there's an opportunity there. Because I don't believe it is the end. I think that they will come back once we get through this pandemic and everything. I think that they will come back. And so I thought, oh, now would be the time to buy. Now would be the time to buy some shares in that company whilst they are so low, so low. So consider stocks and shares. Now, I'm not an expert. Obviously, you know, go to the experts, do your research. Like I said, it's not an area I know a huge amount about, but I really felt like there are opportunities there in the middle of what's happening in the world at the moment, where companies are struggling, where there may be some really good opportunities there to get in now, whilst, you know, the shares are low and the prices are low, and just sit tight for a minute and see what happens. Now, obviously, we all know that stocks and shares are risky, so you have to, you know, you have to be risk averse and not be fearful of maybe losing your money. But, you know, I think it's worth looking at. But like I say, I'm not an expert, so don't take anything I say as gospel. I've never done it, so don't necessarily listen to me. I'm just saying it's something I've been like clocking over the last couple of weeks myself personally. So I just wanted to just throw that out there. There might be some experts out there that can back me up on this, or just share a little bit of information in the comments down below for people that might be interested in that. Because I think it would be interesting just to learn a little bit more about it. Because like I say, I'm one that's not really dabbled in stocks and shares. I prefer bricks and mortar. So if you are an expert, leave a comment below and just give a little bit of insight as to what your thoughts are about investing in this current climate. But it's definitely one worth thinking about, if nothing else. Just have a little think about it. So that's my tip number 5, is just, you know, do a bit of research, look into it, and just see if it's something that sits with you or not. If it doesn't, all good. You know, the other 4 may be more where you're at, or even just one of the 5. But if you're kind of like, it's worth researching, then yeah, have a little research and see if anything lands with you, and let me know. Let me know, because I'm willing to learn as well, because I know nothing about stocks and shares. But there are opportunities out there. Again, like I said, with property, there are opportunities out there if you just look for them. So that's tip number 5, is just do a little research on stocks and shares. So that's it for my 5 tips today. I hope this video has helped you. Let me know if there's anyone in particular really kind of jumped out at you as to which one you might want to try. I do think they are all good income generators. Obviously, some more long-term than others. It's a lot quicker to sell an item on eBay than it is to buy a house, for instance. But let me know which one resonates with you most. And yeah, let's see if we can get some more money into your bank account. So I hope this has helped you. Don't forget to subscribe, and I shall see you in the next video. Thanks so much for watching. Bye.